Welcome back. We're back on the Phoenix Insurance doing the Collector's Corner. I'm here literally in the corner of a collection, and we are here today to show you a great collection of vintage toys and an award-winning model and a Ferrari that is rarer than any you've seen. So come on, let's check them out. We're gonna start right here in the corner with all of these boxed small models. Everybody's probably familiar with these. You've seen these, you've been to Michael's. And so what we've got here is a lot of models. Obviously you can find them at Michael's, but you're not gonna find these at Michael's. First of all, we've got a lot of Dale Earnhardt Jr. If you're into NASCAR, you love Dale Earnhardt Jr., I'm sure. Even if you're not into NASCAR, you know Dale Earnhardt Jr. These models are certainly not made anymore. These are vintage. You cannot find these at Michael's, so they can be very, very hard to find. But some really cool stuff, the black Intimidator, and I love this too. We've got the old blue and yellow Wrangler #3 car, but what we've got here that's very interesting, so we've got two of the same car, okay? Why do we have two of the same car in the same box? Because we've got one that is basically good, and then we've got one with a typo. It's a Pontic instead of a Pontiac. So that's something that makes this model more valuable than this model right here. So the values are not the same. So we're gonna put that down so we don't ruin it. But we've got a lot of other cool stuff here. Here we have a 1/24 scale Talbot Lago record 1950, beautiful car here. We've got a Jaguar. We've got a Jaguar XKE, so some of these models are getting a little bit bigger. This is a 1/8 scale. Love these big models. Let's check it out some over on this side. So our friend he has a lot of NASCAR here. He's a big fan of NASCAR, so we've got some really great drivers, some retired drivers. We got the 24 car from Jeff Gordon over here. I think I saw Richard Petty right here. So a lot of the Hall of Fame racers that are right here. A lot of great NASCAR and some other rarities here. We've got a Marlboro Indy car here. Those were short-lived, putting tobacco advertisements on a kid's toy. So that was not well received and was not long for this world. But a lot of the big ones, we got NASCARs, we got a BMW motorcycle here. And then we've got some Legos as well, a Porsche GT3 RS and a little one here as well. I love the Schwinn model right here. How often have you seen a Schwinn model bicycle? I think that may be the first one I've ever seen. So a lot of cool, very rare collectible models right here. And so here's the problem with just covering these on your home insurance. So every one of these, if you go buy a model today in the store, what are you gonna pay? $10, maybe $15, depending on where you're at. So what you're gonna get, if you have a total loss, there's a fire, all of these are destroyed, you're getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And I'm sure there's collectors out there of these cars that want these cars that would gladly pay $10 for this new in box Darrell Waltrip #17 Monte Carlo. That would be a fantastic buy. This is worth a lot more than that, even though it only sold for $299 brand new in 1993. So the problem with covering them on your personal property coverage is that you're only going to get paid at best replacement cost. And a replacement of a toy is what it would cost to go buy that toy new today. So let's check out some of the other stuff that he's got in his collection. A lot of even more rare stuff that you could never find at Michael's. All right, here we have two 1/8 sized models from Pocher. We've got a vintage one, the Rolls Royce, and we've got a newer one, the Lamborghini Aventador. So let's say you have this car, whether it's in the box or it is fully assembled, and you have a fire. This car is destroyed. You don't have it covered on your homeowner's insurance, anything other than just the personal property. Well, what's gonna happen to this, or how are you gonna get paid for this? Well, this model kit, a 1/8 model kit from Pocher today, is going to cost you about $900. So you're gonna get paid $900 for it. And brand new, this cost about $900. The problem is it doesn't go for $900 today. This kit right here in the box is a $7,000 model kit. Now there's some for $4,500. There are some for somewhere between $4,500 and $7,000, but it has a subjective value. And so if it's just covered under homeowner's insurance, that's what you're going to get for it. Likewise, this one is incredibly hard to get. There's not many left. Obviously, it's an older vehicle, and they don't make them anymore. So the same goes for this. You're going to get about $900 because we can go online and see what would it cost to get a brand new Pocher 1/8 kit. So $900 for this is going to be a tragedy. And if you want to make sure that you can get a similar model kit again, then you're going to need a lot more than that. You're going to need the right protection. Now, we talked about models in the box, and those are very valuable, but models that have already been built are also valuable, sometimes more valuable, because some people don't want to assemble models, they want to look at them. So here we have a beautiful Mercedes-Benz SLR, the real car or the model. I think this is one of the most beautiful cars that's ever been made. But this one has been assembled, and just like people customize their real big cars, you actually customize some of these models as well. Our friend wanted to make sure it had rubber wheels, so he got those. He had some custom upholstery done on the seats as well. That upholstery came from England, and there's all sorts of little things. This car is all steel. The suspension, the fuel injection is incredibly detailed. And look at these wire wheels. These have to be built and wired one by one. There's about 15 hours worth of build time in each one of these wheels. Overall, it took 8 straight months of 3 to 4 hour days of building on this car to get it complete. So you can imagine there's not a lot of people out there that have the time to invest in that. It's a very tedious operation. And some people who have this car don't have a lot of time to spare, but they want a cool model of the car that they own, and so they pay top dollar for things like this. So this car is very valuable just from a normal collector standpoint, and then you add on the custom parts that have been added to it as well. So it's really neat. And if you had this car and this is part of your collection, again, you're not going to get anywhere near the value if you don't have this on a policy that knows what it is and is going to pay you the right amount for it. You need a policy for your collectibles. So we showed you a lot of model cars, and I know there's some guys out there going, where's the trains? Well, here's the trains right here. The trains, they're collectible and they're attainable. Well, what's really rare is this track right here. This is built with North Carolina wood. It is hand built with nothing but dowel and pin. There's not a nail or screw in here. So it's a very rare, very fine piece of craftsmanship. So we're back in the corner, and I wanted to show you this. This is one of the things that caught my eye as soon as I came in. This box right here. Now, this model has not been assembled, but it's really cool, and they just don't make graphics like this. So this is just a piece of Americana. It's a rare piece because a lot of these were just used. The model was made, the box was thrown away, the model was put on a shelf. So there's not many boxes that even exist in this condition anymore. So it's not just the models, it's not assembled, it's not unassembled, it's the boxes, it's everything in all pieces of it. People have really rare and interesting collections, and if you've got a collection like this, it's important that you talk to somebody about it, because just assuming that it's going to be covered on your homeowner's policy is going to leave you burned in the long run. So I hope this helped out. I hope you learned a lot about it and you get your collection properly insured. I'm Aaron. Come back and see us next time.